President Trump, unsurprisingly, was abusing his office in a very, very clear way. Take a look at this. Slate is reporting on this, but it originally came from the Washington Post. The Justice Department under former President Donald Trump secretly obtained the call records for the phones of 3 Washington Post reporters last year in an effort to figure out who had talked to them. They also tried to obtain the email records for the 3 reporters, Ellen Nakashima, Greg Miller, and Adam Entos, who now works at The New Yorker. Federal investigators obtained the records for their work, home, and cell phone numbers from April 15th to July 31st, 2017. The 3 reporters received letters informing them of the seizure that did not specify what the seizure was about. But the 3 reporters wrote a piece published July 21st, 2017 about classified intelligence intercepts that indicated Russia's ambassador to the United States had discussed the Trump campaign with Senator Jeff Sessions. The documents that were seized are known as toll records and include the numbers of all the calls made to and from the phone numbers over the time period and how long each call lasted. The 3 reporters were also told that prosecutors tried to get a court order for non-content communication records for their work email accounts, but they never got them. So, to sum this up, what this means is President Trump did not like that reporters were investigating him, were digging into what was going on with his campaign. And so this is retaliation where he's like, let's dig up their phone records and see where they got the idea to come after me and look for certain things. Who did they talk to? Who was the leak in the administration that led to them looking into what we were doing? And so basically this is revenge against reporters because reporters were doing their job. Now, listen, don't get it twisted. They were digging in relation to Russiagate. Again, they said classified intelligence intercepts indicated Russia's ambassador to the United States had discussed the Trump campaign with Senator Jeff Sessions. So this is when they were trying to make the argument there was coordination and collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. And so Trump might be doing Putin's bidding, and what are they really hiding? Like, this is really what they're getting at here. Now, that narrative turned out to be just totally untrue. We had a whole investigation on this. Mueller looked into every nook and cranny, and his conclusion was, I can't get anybody on Russia-related stuff. He did get people on non-Russia-related stuff, on corruption-related stuff. Paul Manafort, for example, Roger Stone. Like, a lot of these people went down for being corrupt goons, so they don't get a pass. But these specific claims turned out to be nonsense. So I actually understand why Trump or other people in his inner circle would be like, this is bullshit. What's going on here? What are they doing? I get that. But you are not allowed to use the power of the federal government to spy on your political enemies because they have a belief, even an erroneous belief, even if they're doing some sort of an unfair search into what's going on with you in your campaign. You cannot take revenge, get retribution, and just try to pull their phone records and snoop through their shit. You can't do that. You simply can't do that. We're supposed to have a free press in this country. This sort of activity undermines freedom of the press. It sends a message. Hey, if anybody's looking under a rock we don't want you to look under, the federal government can come after you. The federal government can dig into your personal life and your private life and see what was going on in your email and with your phone. Now, I'm sure if something was found that the Trump people could have weaponized, they would have done it. You know, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, guys, but I'm pretty sure something similar happened with Elliot Spitzer. Elliot Spitzer was known as like the sheriff of Wall Street. He would crack down on them. And then eventually we learned that he was going to basically illegal brothels. And that information was leaked. Now, why was it leaked? It was leaked because there were powerful interests who didn't like Elliot Spitzer because Elliot Spitzer was cracking down on Wall Street, and so they wanted to expose him, and they really effectively did expose him as a hypocrite because he was apparently cracking down on brothels at the same time he was visiting brothels, so he is a hypocrite, and that's not okay. But they went after him because they didn't agree with what he was doing. And so This is what happens when you have, in Elliot Spitzer's case, I don't know if it was the police department or whatever, there was effectively a shadow government, a deep state, if you will, that took him down. And this is what happens when you have rogue governmental agencies that determine, hey, turnabout's fair play, we can get revenge, we can get retribution, we could come after you if you do something we don't like. And that's what Trump did here. That's what his insiders did here. And so should they have even... Now, I don't know. They may have gone through a FISA court, and FISA courts are bullshit. They rubber stamp everything for the government to do their illegal spying, right? But should Trump or the federal government have even tried to look at what was going on with these reporters? No. No. Because we have a free press in this country. Even if they're reporting on something you don't like, even if they're saying things that are untrue, it's a free press. It's a free press. You know how high the bar is to get somebody on libel or slander or defamation? It's nearly impossible in the U.S. for good reason. We don't want to tie the court system up with people with hurt feelings saying, you can't say X, Y, or Z. We have free speech in this country. We have a free press in this country. That's what it's supposed to be. So should the government be able to crack down because they didn't like the direction this reporting was going? Hell no. Hell no. Not even close. So Trump was basically trying to spy on reporters because the reporters were coming after him. And, you know, we perhaps shouldn't be surprised because his record, look at his record on Julian Assange. Edward Snowden wasn't given a pardon. Julian Assange wasn't given a pardon. If you were going to protect whistleblowers, if you were going to protect a free press, you would have to pardon them. And he didn't. So what does that tell you? It tells you Trump is an authoritarian wherever he's concerned. If you come after me, I'm going to come after you, and I have the power of the entire federal government to use. And that is exactly something the Constitution prohibits. Some sort of thin-skinned authoritarian from weaponizing all this power to use it against people who are just doing their job.